Okay, here we are at the beginning of the last ride of the season. It's an awesome day. The sun is out. All we got to do is find some snow. The parking lot was full of mud and it was a little bit unsettling, but it looks like we're getting up into some snow here. Hopefully it'll get better as we go. Being spring riding, there's usually some bare spots on the trail. Here we see the first one. I'm sure there's more to come. Yeah, here we are now dropping down toward the power line, and again, another bare spot. I don't like to drive through these areas with my scratchers down, so I always lift them up, drive through, and then put them down on the other side. After about 20 minutes of riding the trail and then onto the power line, we finally find ourselves at the entrance point into the tree line, and it'll be a fairly steep climb from here up into the riding area. Even though it's spring riding, there seems to be a lot of hard pack, and cooling for the engine isn't great. Gary's Polaris is overheated a little bit, so we're going to cool it down before we continue on our way.
You should be better now. We're getting into better snow.
Yeah. Well, I ran it up here, fresh snow all the way, and it didn't cool it down any.
Huh. Yeah. Try to stay in the into the fresh stuff as much as possible.
Yeah, it's just the coolers are along this outside edges.
Yeah. We're very close to where it opens.
Okay, well, we got Gary all cooled down, and we headed on up, and sure enough, we're getting into some snow. Things are starting to open up. Weather's awesome, so it's time to find some places to play. Well, I see a little hill up ahead there. Maybe that should be the first one of the day that I'm going to climb. Well, the snow's pretty good today. It'll be easy to climb. We'll have to be careful we don't get ourselves into trouble. Aha! I see another place. Let's do a wheelie. Hey, I spy a little cornice. I think we should jump off that. Ah, that was fun. Chris is going to jump off so we can get a view of what it looks like from down below. Uh-oh, I better get out of his way. He's coming right for me. Ah, looks like Chris has found another place to play on right nearby. I think we should check it out as well. Okay, let's watch Chris give it a run. I never know if there's snow packed onto my camera lens, so every once in a while I clear it off just in case. Well, I wasn't expecting that face full of snow. Well, just about finished here, but let's do one more run and I'll follow Chris up the hill. I guess I should have saw that coming. Seems like the further we go, the more we find, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. So let's make some tracks. As we get into some of the bigger hills, we notice that there's a slide or a small avalanche that's occurred here on our right, so we'll have to keep that in mind as we ride throughout the day. Looks like that whole cornice up above the slide area must have broken away at some point in the past, and you can see by the big chunks how much of the snow came down.
I should have stayed at home and raked the yard. Cheesy. Hey, looks like
It's always nice to get a first photo of the day when all the machines are in one piece and everybody's happy, and then after that, we don't have to take photos if we don't want to.
Yeah, maybe off the rocks, and then that broke up when it got down below because you don't see any tracks through it, can you? Okay, guys, this is the I should have been home raking picture.
Got it. So we're good for the day. Let's hit the trails.
1, 2, 3.
Well, there goes Chris making her first little tracks on that fresh snow. got the speed and the traction, I could go over that little corner there, but I have no idea what's on the other side. And there goes Chris on another run. Let's watch him and see how he does. That side of the hill is bigger than it looks. Chris and I see some tracks going over like a little saddle over there. We're going to quickly go over and have a look and see where it leads. Wow, an unexpected play area and a whole new valley. We're never going to have time to explore it all, but we can do the best we can. We decide we better go back and get Gary and come over here and make some fresh tracks. Okay, well, we're back now with Gary, so it's time to explore this new area. We found a small cornice that I'm going to jump off, but I wanted Gary to take the video from the bottom side so we could see what it looked like instead of having the camera on my helmet. The cornice is pretty small and the landing doesn't look hard, but it was actually quite hard, and in the end I ended up bending the cover over my belt, and I had to stop and fix it, and I'll see that later. Chris is telling me about a little place that on the left up there that you can jump between a couple of trees that he's already done. Tells me how to do it, so I'm going to give it a shot. After that jump, I had a funny sound coming from under the hood. Wasn't sure what it was. A little investigation, and it turned out that the cover over my belt had bent and was rubbing a bit funny. So we had to pull it off, do a little bit of a field repair, and then it got me going for the rest of the day.
I don't know. It must have, because it doesn't reach there anymore. Right?
Look at the tags.
Somehow this distance is further from here.
It's nothing a pair of pliers and a little field work can't fix.
Can you just, huh?
Okay, let's get it back together and see how it is. Looks pretty good. Okay, we're good to go. And if you notice all that snow on my sled, it's because that fathead Chris pinned it and sprayed me when he left. See the track? I think we should do that a few more times.
I'll video you.
Better do that one again. And one more time. We'll get a video of Chris jumping off so we can see what it looks like. Here's Chris on another little cornice. Well, it's time to go explore an area we haven't been to yet. Let's see where this takes us. Snow conditions are really good for getting up here. I didn't even have to work at it. Okay, well, we finished exploring and playing in that little offshoot that we found when we first came into the area, and that was just the beginning. Now we're headed back the way we were going when we first came in, and there's lots more ahead. But before we do any more exploring, it's time to have a lunch break. Well, at least a snack. It's a pretty awesome place to park and have lunch. Can't think of too many better ways to spend an afternoon.
That's an awesome spot.
Well, Gary approves of the location anyway.
Yeah, okay, put your arm
Well,
out
let's
first.
see how those meatballs are turning out that I've been cooking so far today. They look okay, but they need a bit more cooking. After our snack, it's time to carry on. There's so much open, untracked area here, it's hard to know which way to go next. Maybe it's time to take a little run through the trees and see where that takes us. I lost my head side healing right here and ended up nose first into those trees down there. Darn it. That's the end of part 1. Check out part 2 to see the rest of it.